to the next dimension.
Hey guys, undercoverdudes all the way from down, and today I have some gameplay of the new default weapons. Now these new default weapons are from Combat Arms Russia, and they're not in the game per se for Combat Arms North America, Europe, Brazil, and so on. But I'll talk about that later, but let's just go straight into the weapons and what they are. AK-74U, the Makarov, the MH, the MR40, and because it's in Russian I can't understand it, and the grenade I can't even say because it's in a fully Russian language. So I don't speak Russian, so I don't know what it is. But if any of you guys do, translations would be appreciated for the grenade. So pretty much these new weapons are very special. They're very different because Nexon hasn't done something like this before. The AK-74U is a very competent weapon. It's a fantastic weapon. You go on any Woggle or ICOG room besides AK-47s and M4s, you've got AK-74Us going around. Lots of people use this. It's a great carbine. It's a submachine gun / AR variant, so you can use them for both ranges, and that's why I like the gun so much. Now, if you somehow can understand English and Russian, and you play Combat Arms Russia, you're in for a really good treat, because this gun is absolutely amazing. I don't know if they've nerfed it for this version and make it fair somehow to all the other versions, that we've got a weaker gun and they've got a more powerful gun. I'm not 100% sure, but I have to say, at the moment, from the gameplay I'm seeing right now, it seems like this gun, AK-74U, is as good as was in the normal versions of Combat Arms in the versions before it. And pretty much, I think it's going to be a really good treat. You don't have to buy a GP or NX. You can just use this gun all day long because it's absolutely amazing. One of my most favorite guns in the game. One of my most favorite GP guns in the game, to be more exact. Now, the pistol, the Makarov, I'm not really 100% sure how I can go and describe this weapon, because it looks like an M1911, the way it cocks back, the way the gun looks per se, from when you see it from the first person perspective, is like a more larger version of the M1911 Knight. Now the gun also looks like it has higher recoil, like it isn't the normal recoil, the the M9 that we see in Combat Arms, where it has a bit of jittery recoil, but not that high. But this gun, it looks like it has quite high recoil, and there's absolutely no stats on the Combat Arms website. I haven't got any stats from pretty much anywhere, so I'm just going to have a go on the basis of what this guy's showing me. He's got a good 4 bar, so I have to trust that this gameplay is pretty much what this gun is. Now, it seems alright. It seems like a good, solid pistol. 4-shot kills from what I'm seeing, and the fire rate isn't so good. It's a bit slower than the M9, but generally it looks like a very decent weapon, and I don't think you really need to buy like a USP or G23, because pretty much sidearms, you don't need to use them so much. The knife, I think it's just going to be an absolute reskin of the M9. Nexon really didn't have to change anything with that. The knife is a very last resort weapon. You only use it when you're in super close ranges and you're trying to get a flank on or something like that. There's really no use in using knife, and to make it different, I don't really see the point. He doesn't use it in this gameplay, so I'm not 100% sure if there's any difference, but you know, I think Nexon's just going to make it the same. That's a very smart choice. Now the grenade's going to go along the same ways, I believe. It's just going to be a normal grenade. It looks more like a HE grenade, but from what I believe from the gameplay scene right now, it's just going to be a normal frag grenade. Just a normal frag grenade, M96, M69, whatever it is. It's just going to be exactly the same. You get one of them, it chucks, it does like 60 damage whatsoever, it's fine, and it's just going to be a normal one. But pretty much, what's going to happen to Combat Arms North America because of these? That's the next question. These guns are already in our game files. You go and have a look at the Combat Arms Wiki, my video where I talk about these new default weapons that are released a couple of weeks ago. They are already in our game files. So how Nexon implements them into the game will be very interesting. Are they going to go for, you have to go and buy these weapons, like a weapon swap kind of thing that happened many years ago for the players that are very, not very old, that was the wrong way to say it, but very new to the game. Pretty much what happened in 2008, 2009. Nexon had these things before permanence where you could swap your default weapon M16A3 to an MP5, an M4, but I'm not sure what, I think it was a Mini-Me, M24, and an SR25. I think it was a couple weapons, and you could swap them for permanent, so you had these permanent versions, and now $30, so that were pretty expensive just for GP permanents. Very few people got them, and very few people have them right now. I'm not sure Nexon's gonna do the exact same thing. That's one option. Or they could just give us it for free. We could choose, do you want the American guns or do you want the Russian guns? And you get to choose and you make your final choice, and that's it. And most of the people go for Russians just because it's a better weapon, AK-74U, or pretty much some people just want M16A3 just because it's an M16A3. It's a Russian weapon, people being patriotic and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure how Nexon's gonna do it. There's many ways they can implement in the game. If they play their cards right, hopefully it'll be really good for everyone that it does play the game. Everyone gets a shot to try this weapon. That's what I hope, and hopefully these weapons come out to be a good success for players that, you know, don't have that much GP, don't have permanence, don't want to buy weapons. They can use this gun to fall back on, which is very decent. Takes a bit of skill, but it's much easier to use than a normal M16A3. Then as so you rank up along, you get the professional, the veteran, and so on and so on and so on, and pretty much you'll just get better versions of it, and it'll be all good and dandy. Let's see what Nexon does. If you guys have any more news about this or any other leaks, make sure you send me a private message. I'll go and give you a bit of a shout out per se in the video for your help, because the more help you give me, guys, the more help I'm gonna give you. It's kind of a bit of a win-win situation per se. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.